Alright, welcome back everyone. You're watching the RSL Rhythmix 3. We're in our third game of the day. WhiteRa versus ThorzaiN. The score is 1-1 here. And WhiteRa actually played really well last game after ThorzaiN dominated the first game. So pretty cool series so far. Pretty short games, I would say. I mean, the first game was semi-long, but ThorzaiN was dominating for most of it. And the second game was a very quick one. ThorzaiN does pick Ohana, which I'm not sure how much I like this, because it's one of my favorite maps as Protoss. I guess both races like it, Terran and Protoss against each other, so not too relevant here. And ThorzaiN is going to start in the top left-hand corner of the map here as the blue Terran. WhiteRa, bottom right-hand side corner of the map as the red Protoss. And Pylon, pretty, I guess, between his ramp and his Nexus. Last game, when he did this, he went for the Nexus first, so we shall see if WhiteRa goes for the Nexus first again. A 13 probe is already queued. I wouldn't be surprised to see 13 gates. ThorzaiN goes for the depot behind his mineral line, the barracks midway between his command center and his ramp. Which kind of hints for a gasless expand. WhiteRa goes for the gate 13, he scouts shortly after. And he keeps on making probes. And no, ThorzaiN, he really wants to play with gas. Even if last game went pretty bad for him when he did this build, or a similar build to this, he's gonna go and try for it again. Goes for the gas again. And WhiteRa is the very early scout here. I guess 13 is standard, but he's gonna be able to spot this very easily. And ThorzaiN is gonna scout a little bit before his barracks finishes, I'm sorry. WhiteRa with some really nice mineral block here. WhiteRa could actually choose to throw down a gas here or a pylon here to be able to scout what exactly ThorzaiN goes for, but I think he's just going to expect maybe sort of the same opener as last game. And yeah, this looks like a factory play again. Maybe ThorzaiN was hurt in his pride last game. He thinks like, well, he held the first big drop, but he was lucky. I just microed poorly, so I'm gonna try for it again. Actually, we have a tech lab this time, so I'm really not sure what exactly ThorzaiN is aiming for here. We had a Zealot first made by WhiteRa, Stalker being chronoboosted now. Maybe Marauder Hellion. A big Marauder Hellion pressure to kill that one gate expand by the Protoss. Most commonly used build these days by all the Protosses. And WhiteRa is actually moving forward here with this Zealot and this probe. I think the Stalker, I think he wants to do a big pressure here with one Zealot, one probe, one Stalker, a second Stalker on the way. Just try to go up that ramp and kill a couple units and see how that goes. See exactly what ThorzaiN is going for, but this might go really bad for him. If he loses his Stalker first, then this Zealot will have no chance to escape and will kill nothing. This Hellion has to go down the ramp to help those units. And actually ThorzaiN, he's playing this very cautiously. He chose not to engage those units because he didn't want to lose his Marines or take too much damage on those Marauders, but I think WhiteRa does not realize right now what he's in for, and he actually hasn't started his extra gates, and his warp gate upgrade is well on its way. So this is going to be very hard for him to hold here. 4 SCVs being pulled here, 5 SCVs. Does he have concussive shells? Upsing is not the greatest, I'm sorry. Hellion's poking a bit here, and I think WhiteRa right now is realizing that there is a big pressure coming here, and it's going to be very hard for him to hold. Concussive shells was researched. He has 2 more gates on the way. I think he's going to have to cancel this Nexus for sure, just because all of those SCVs were pulled. You don't lose as much money as what the Terran lost if you cancel here, just because you pulled 5 SCVs. So that's like the entire walking way here that they weren't mining. If you look at it right now, WhiteRa is 3 walkers ahead, and 5 of those SCVs, so that's 28 to 20. So you see, even though like the income is pretty equal right now, WhiteRa was actually mining more. I think WhiteRa is gonna have none of this. He's adding more gates now. 1 more gate at least. And he's gonna go for a big pressure here. He counterattacks with those stalkers here, and he's making a pylon here. I think a 5th gate would be nice. And gas here. He's just gonna stay up the ramp here, try to contain ThorzaiN, and he's warping a couple more units here. And ThorzaiN is gonna have to make a choice. He chooses to go back. He has to salvage this bunker. He forgets about it. He's not salvaging right now. He's looking at his expansion. He's gonna have to cancel his command center. WhiteRa is getting way too much damage on it. And ThorzaiN is gonna transition into tanks. He swapped his barracks for his factory, so it's gonna be a lot of marines and siege tanks. And those units, they are stuck inside right now. They're gonna be sandwiched by all of this bioforce, I guess. Well, there wasn't much up there. But yeah, those units are gonna get rid of. But WhiteRa really nicely killing a couple more of the city. And ThorzaiN actually is really scared of this pylon and those warpings here. He realizes that WhiteRa didn't start a nexus for some time after he left. After ThorzaiN left, so he thought that WhiteRa was really committing to this, so he just pulled back for now. He just went up the ramp. He didn't want to take the fight here, but really, realistically, if he had taken the fight here, I think he could have just maybe ended it or killed a lot of those units. They were basically stuck up there. So a bit of a misread here for ThorzaiN. I guess he didn't have steam pack or combat shield, which really doesn't help his cause here. And robotics facility being added by WhiteRa here. He has a lot of probes already. 34 to the 27 of ThorzaiN. As soon as he transfers, his economy is going to do a big boom. And it's going to get really huge very quickly. ThorzaiN trying to spot a couple of those pylons. And ThorzaiN, he actually doesn't realize that there is a pylon up there. I thought he was scared to fight here because he realized there was a pylon here, but he doesn't. He didn't kill it. So ThorzaiN really not reading this well as I thought he should. Robotics bay being added here. We're gonna have 16 probes in the main, really nicely saturated here by WhiteRa, and those mortars looking to slow down some of the stalkers and maybe kill them, but WhiteRa reacts in time and pulls back for now. And WhiteRa's army is actually really small. It's 22 to 39 of ThorzaiN right now. ThorzaiN gonna head out for a big push. He's not completely all in. In the meantime, he has a second orbital in the making. He's made a lot of SCVs as well. He's on 32 to the 40 of WhiteRa. So even if WhiteRa is ahead economically, if ThorzaiN could manage to do some good damage here, it would be very good for him. He has to siege those tanks and leapfrog very slowly here. And WhiteRa chooses to engage because he sees those tanks weren't sieged. He doesn't even wait for his first immortal. He's going to be able to snipe this tank from up there, but the second tank is not sieged here. And oh, this immortal is going to be caught out of position. It was left behind. I think WhiteRa should have just pulled back after this, and WhiteRa is losing a lot right now. He has his first medivac, but oh, two stalkers get splashed by this tank and die immediately. This last remaining stalker is going to die, and those units, those zealots as well. And WhiteRa now he has one stalker against two tanks, two mortars, and 4 marines. ThorzaiN is not even rallying his units into the fight right now. He's just trying to do as much damage as possible with these couple units, and then I think he will pull back. Oh, he has to go for the immortal first. The immortal doing some really nice damage. Pick up, yes, he does pick up. Zeppelin style micro here by ThorzaiN, and I think ThorzaiN is just, he should just be able to do so much damage here that it would win him the game, but he's taking his sweet time. He's leaving those tanks behind. Oh, he finally, by taking this gas, he spotted this pylon, so he's going to be able to get rid of that. But yeah, ThorzaiN actually chooses to pull back here. I guess now this was the right choice, just because he took so long time to get into those probes and start getting some very good kills. He took his sweet time too much, and just because the way he was down there, he let WhiteRa remake a couple units, and it would have been bad to stay for him. And WhiteRa, he's kind of panicking right now. He's adding more gates. He hasn't made a single forge, so he's going to have no tech, no upgrades. His only tech is going to be Colossus, and ThorzaiN is adding a third command center directly at his third base, and he's going to play mech. What am I watching? 3 tech lab factory, 1 reactor. He's adding 3 more right now. Oh, he's actually blocked his tank in. Okay, it's going to go the other way. Dummy. That dummy tank. And ThorzaiN going for the 3rd orbital command. 2 more gases being added. And I really like ThorzaiN's position. I mean, he has a big advantage. He could have just finished it if he just played standard bio, but WhiteRa is a really good player, obviously. I'm not sure if ThorzaiN really thinks that Mech is the most optimal choice, or is just trying to do something interesting in this game. ThorzaiN gonna go for 8 Marines drop. Oh, this probe might spot it. It doesn't, barely. And ThorzaiN, yeah, just gonna try to get rid of those Marines. He doesn't really need them. He's going for pure mech right now, so he just wants to do some damage with them if he can. Because, I mean, as far as those Marines go, they are kind of useless with his army. They are not gonna tank anything. They're not gonna do any damage. He just wants to buy himself some time. He knows he took a third much earlier than his opponents, most likely. So it's a very good choice here. And actually lifting these barracks just because he's not going to produce anything out of it, swapping it for the factory. This pass has been unblocked as well. ThorzaiN right now on 7 factories, just pumping out tons of Hellions and tanks. He's just going to hit a big timing, I think, and he's not going for any upgrades. So I think he's just going to wait maybe a little bit more, 140, 150, and hit this very, very big timing, with maybe a couple SCVs ready to repair. And as I say that, he pulls a couple. And WhiteRa, look at those props, they always show up on time. It's like they always go where I'm looking, but I mean, I'm the observer, I can see everything. But WhiteRa is like, well, I gotta look here now. He sends one and he sees what he has to see. But right now he's not really reacting to those units. He has to pull back the Colossus. Oh, this Colossus might just die. Getting targeted from everything right now. ThorzaiN's siege is everything, and WhiteRa chooses to take the fight here. This is a big mistake. He does not have nearly enough to get rid of this army. This Immortal, which was basically the only hope of WhiteRa doing anything in this fight, is gonna fall immediately. And those Colossus, they're like running toward the beach. They don't want any of this. And WhiteRa is gonna try to counterattack here. He has to cancel this Nexus. And I guess he could have done a couple force fields here to buy himself some time, but since he took down those rocks, this wouldn't have done anything really. So he's just gonna try to go like purely for a base trade here. We have Blue Flame for ThorzaiN that was researched, and I think ThorzaiN just has to siege a couple tanks here. Oh, he has to be very quick about it. WhiteRa realizes that, and in the meantime, ThorzaiN's push is doing really, really well. ThorzaiN is really far ahead, but he has to be very careful. If he loses a bit too many units in a wrong position, like if he rushes up there, it would be very bad for him. And WhiteRa, he feels that he's really behind right now, so he's just going to add the Dark Shrine and try to pull the rabbit out of his hat in this game. This Colossus is actually doing pretty good, but 2 tanks doing a lot of damage to them right now. And ThorzaiN should be able to get enough units out to get rid of this. But yeah, WhiteRa's last hope right now. This Dark Shrine. But the problem is that WhiteRa is not even mining anymore. He can make 2 DTs, that's it. So I think he's going to warp some DTs here. Maybe 1 here to get rid of this army, but does he have any scan? No. The 3rd base has a scan, but he might use a mule because he's very low on economy right now. And this base is burning down. Oh, he actually made an Archon. He made 2 High Templars and made an Archon. Colossus fighting right now by himself. I think WhiteRa forgot about the Dark Shrine. Oh, that's really sad. Okay, ThorzaiN is now up 2-1. Really nice play by him here.